Hi there and welcome. My name is Jill Mongene. I'm so excited that you found my YouTube channel. I wanted to do a little bit of an introduction to start out. I started this channel in January of 2026. I am known in the industry as the Aviation Dietitian. Now you probably wonder, what in the world is an aviation dietitian? So I'm going to take you back for a few minutes and tell you my entire story. So the first thing is I have a 4-year degree from an accredited university here in Middle Tennessee. I reside outside of Nashville in a little amazing city called Franklin. I am married to an airline transport pilot who is now retired, who has worked in the industry for 37 years, in addition to his 20 years of U.S. Army military experience flying the Cobra helicopter. So I have a wealth of information. Why did I become a dietitian? I became a dietitian when my husband ended up getting diagnosed with celiac disease in 2015. That is when you have an allergy to wheat, but it's more of a genetic predisposition, and it can completely wreck your gut and your entire life. So in 2015, at the age of 50, I went back to school and got yet a third degree. I have 2 other degrees in tax accounting and business administration, taxation from the University of Tennessee. So think about that. I'm very analytical and very detailed. Anyway, back to the reason why I became a dietitian. I knew that if I had a husband that was suffering from certain health situations, I was going to see other airline pilots that had situations as well. I am very passionate about helping others to protect their health long term. So I went back to school. I spent 2.5 years getting 78 credit hours. I did an internship in North Carolina at a little school called Lenore-Rhine. I majored in sports nutrition and weight management. I certified and sat for the exam so that I could hold the national credential to be a registered dietitian. What happened after that is the most interesting part of the story. On January 3rd, 2020, my husband walked through the door at our home and said, "I can't see out of my right eye." And I thought, what in the world could be going on? When we look back, we found that he had some routine high blood pressure. We all know that airline transport pilots suffer from high blood pressure because of the humidity in the cabin, the inability to constantly use the lavatory, so you tend not to drink as much. His blood pressure used to run about 148/92. So we didn't really think much about it. We thought it's really not a big deal. But in 2015, when he had to go on a gluten-free diet, it pulled all of the fiber content out of his normal everyday diet. Airline pilots don't have the opportunity to carry tons of fruits and vegetables on trips. Taking that fiber content out of his daily intake as an international wide-body captain caused him to become pre-diabetic. So what is prediabetes? Prediabetes means that when you have a susceptibility to run a little bit high in your blood sugar, or what we know as blood glucose, all of that creates the perfect storm inside your body. Dehydration, high blood pressure, not enough fiber to move things through, high blood sugar affects your eyesight first of all. And when that pressure continues, and then you get at a higher elevation for an extended period of time, that's where his retina detached. So the long and the short of it is, number one, you want to protect your health. You want to make sure that you're constantly looking at your hydration levels, your fiber content levels, figuring out what your blood pressure is on a daily basis, knowing what your blood sugar is. It's overwhelming, right? Please don't turn this video off. My husband went through 6 surgeries. He lost his medical for 18 months, but we were able to get him back to work without the high blood pressure, without the prediabetes. He was able to start flying again. So there is hope. If you're suffering from something like this, there is hope. That's a little bit of background on my story and why I became the aviation dietitian. I sat there on that couch and thought, we've suffered a tragedy. We have to figure out how to get past this. More than anything, there are other pilots out there. And you know what? There are tons of you that might be watching this video today and thinking, This kind of sounds like me. What should you do? Here's what you should do. You should start getting annual lab testing. You should start monitoring your blood pressure on a daily basis. You should start thinking about wearing a continuous glucose monitor to understand what your blood sugar is. So again, I wanted this to be an introductory video so that you could get to know me and my story. What are you going to find in my YouTube? You're going to find that I am going to dispel all misinformation. I am going to give you a high level accountability of education around your industry in aviation. I've lived this life for 19 years, watching exactly what was going on with my airline transport pilot husband, and I have applied it to our everyday life, and I have coached over 400 airline transport pilots in the last 6 years. So, what do you do next? What is your next step? First, I want you to hit subscribe because I want you to get notified of every single video. I will be telling confidential stories, taking names and personally identifiable information out of the videos. I will be recanting how we resolved and how we fixed the pilot to make them go back to work. I will continue to tell you about my husband's story. Who knows? Maybe I can get my husband also here on a guest appearance. Wouldn't that be amazing? So I will have some show notes and links below. If you're not following me already, I would like for you to go to Facebook and find me, Jill Mongene, Aviation Dietitian. Go to Instagram and find me at Aviation Dietitian. And of course, my website. There's all kinds of free information, Aviation Dietitian, free guides, recipes, all sorts of things. So first and foremost, I just wanted to come here and say hello. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe.